Hi again. Let's continue talking about views. In the last couple videos, I talked about frame, bounds, and center. What I'd like to talk about now is UI color. Okay, so UI color represents a color on the computer. Okay, I'm going to get Sketch out for this. And let's say I create a rectangle here, or a circle. I guess a circle is pretty good, right? And I want to fill it with a color. So color on the computer is measured in a couple different ways, and you'll see this in different software that you're using. Most often what you'll see is color measured as RGB values, okay? And in Sketch right here, it's a little hard to see there, but I wonder if I can zoom in on this, right? Yeah, I guess I can't zoom in there. You can see this is R, G, and B. So red, green, and blue stands for color components. And if I make this 255 red and 0 green. Actually, you know what? I'm doing the stroke there. I want to do the fill. So let's imagine like this is 255 0 and 0. What I get here is I get red, right? If I do 0 red, I get black. If it's 0 green, 0 blue, right? 0 red, it's black. If I do 255 green, that's green. And if I do 0 green and 255 blue, I get this, right? And if I make these colors, I choose colors here, you can see they're kind of mixes of all those numbers. So what's going on? What's the 255? Well, in general, 255 is 8 bits, okay? And generally what happens is the programs will show you the color value as an 8-bit value. So it goes 0 to 255, okay? And then it mixes the red, green, and blue to generate a color. So, just as a note, if you have a full value of red and a full value of green, so it's 255 here and here, then you get yellow, right? So if we mix green and red, we get yellow. If we mix green and blue, we get cyan. And if we mix red and blue, we get magenta. Okay, and then if we get varying amounts of all these other of each of the three colors, then we kind of can get all the different colors like orange and kind of a light blue or a pale green or a purple, right? Okay. So what else? What other ways can we look at color? Another way of looking at color is called HSB. And I'm going to switch this to HSB. And now what happens is the first value is hue. And changing this value changes the hue without changing the other properties of color. So what other properties do we have? If you look at the color picker here, the upper value here is more saturated, right? So saturation is one property. And as I drag the color slider here, you can see the color gets more pale. It's like we're adding white, okay? So as we add white, we're pulling the saturation down. So in other words, we were getting less color, right? Okay? Until the color is all the way gray, right? Okay, so what's the gray? So along this axis is called value, or brightness sometimes. That's the B in HSB. So hue is the color, saturation is how much color, and B, or brightness, is how light or dark the color is. So if saturation is 0 and brightness is 100, then we get white. If saturation is 0 and brightness is 0, then we get black. Okay, and if we have some value of brightness that's in between, then we get a gray. If the saturation goes up, then we add color to the gray until we get some color here. And if you have 100% saturation, then you get the full value of that color. This is the brightest that, or most colorful that color can be, right? And as you change the hue, it essentially cycles through the color, right? So as I do this, you can see I'm cycling through the rainbow of colors as I change the hue, okay? So that's a quick introduction to color. Let's talk about this in the next video on how we apply those ideas to Xcode, okay? So thanks for watching.